The kids were bigger than I expected. Kids always grow faster than you remember. They were shy at first, hanging back, but warmed up when I showed them the RV. "This is so cool, Grandpa," my grandson said, climbing into the cab. "You drive this all by yourself?" "Sure do. That's awesome." Brandon was the same quiet, steady kind. Shook my hand. Asked about the road. Didn't mention the in-law suite that sat empty in their house. Jessica's friend Lavra came for dinner. 60s, silver hair, warm smile. We talked about travel and loss and the strange experience of rebuilding a life after your spouse dies. "My husband and I had so many plans," she said. "We were going to travel after he retired. See the world. And then he had a heart attack at 62, and all those plans just evaporated. Are you traveling now?" I asked. Some. Not as much as I'd like. It's hard to do it alone. It is, I agreed. But it's also freeing. There's something about being alone with your thoughts. Figuring out who you are without the person you were for 40 years. She nodded. "Maybe I'll get there. I'm still figuring it out. Me too." After dinner, Jessica walked me out to the RV. "I like Laura," I said. "I thought you might." She smiled. "She's good people, trying to set me up, Jess." "Would that be so bad?" "Mom's been gone for 6 years, Dad. She'd want you to be happy." "I am happy." "I know. I can see that. You look lighter. Younger, even. Younger?" "I'm older than dirt. You know what I mean. There's life in your eyes again. You look like you." We stood there in the driveway, the spring air cool and clean. "Thank you," she said. "For what?" "For not giving up. On yourself. On life. On us. I was so angry when you sold the house. I felt like you were abandoning us. Abandoning Mom's memory. But you weren't. You were saving yourself." "I don't know about that." "I do. And I'm proud of you." I felt my eyes water. "Your mother would be proud of you too. Look at what you've built here. Good kids. Good marriage. Good life. I hope so." "I'm trying." She wiped her eyes. "Will you stay for a while? A week, 2? A few days? Then I need to keep moving. Where to next?" "North. I've never seen Washington or Oregon properly. Thought I'd spend the summer up there. Maybe swing through Montana, and then I'll figure it out." She hugged me. "Keep sending pictures. And call more, please." "I will." I stayed for 5 days. Had dinner with the family every night. Went to my grandson's baseball game. Taught my granddaughter how to play cards. Took Lavra to lunch, and we talked about places we'd traveled and places we still wanted to go. "Maybe we'll run into each other out there," she said. "On the road." "Maybe," I said. And I thought maybe wouldn't be so bad. When I left, everyone stood in the driveway waving. Jessica had tears on her cheeks. "I love you, Dad." "Love you too, honey." I drove north with the windows down and the radio playing oldies. Sang along badly to songs Margaret and I used to dance to in the kitchen. Made it to the Olympic Peninsula in Washington and parked by the ocean. Walked on beaches covered in driftwood. Hiked slowly, with breaks through rainforests so green it hurt to look at Dot. Met a couple in their 80s who'd been full-time RVing for 15 years. "Best thing we ever did," the husband said. "We've seen every state, met incredible people, lived more in these 15 years than in the 60 before them. Any regrets?" I asked, only that we didn't start sooner. I thought about that. About all the years I'd wasted being sad. Being stuck. Being afraid, but maybe they weren't wasted. Maybe that's just what grief looks like. You can't rush it. Can't skip over it. You have to walk through it, slow and painful, until one day you look up and realize you're on the other side. I scattered Margaret's ashes in Oregon. On a cliff overlooking the Pacific Dot, it was a clear day. The ocean was impossibly blue. Seabirds wheeled overhead. I opened the wooden box and felt the weight of her in my hands one last time. I love you, I told the wind. I'll always love you. But it's time to let go. I poured her out, watched her drift on the breeze, mixing with sea spray and sunshine. Goodbye, sweetheart. I stood there for a long time, crying, but the good kind of crying. The kind that means you're healing. When I got back to the RV, my phone buzzed. A text from Jessica Dot just wanted to say I love you. Call when you can. I called. Hey, honey. Hey, Dad. Where are you? Oregon. Coast. I just scattered your mother's ashes. Silence. Then, oh, Dad, I wish I could have been there. Me too. But it felt right. Just her and me. One last time. Yeah. She was crying. Tell me about it? So I did. Described the cliff and the ocean and the birds and the beautiful clear day. She cried and laughed and said it sounded perfect. Mom would have loved it, she said. She would have. What are you going to do now? I looked out the RV window at the endless road ahead, at the mountains in the distance, at the sky so big it made you feel small and infinite all at once. Keep going, I said. Just keep going. And I did. I spent that summer wandering the Northwest, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming again. Drove until the RV broke down outside of Bozeman and had to spend a week in a repair shop waiting for parts. Used that time to explore the town. Found a good diner. Made friends with the mechanic's wife, who invited me to dinner and fed me the best pot roast I'd had since Margaret's. You remind me of my dad, she said. He traveled alone after my mom died. Lived in an RV for 8 years. Happiest I'd ever seen him. What happened after 8 years? Cancer. He fought it for a while, but it got him in the end. Died in a hospital in Arizona. She smiled, but he died happy. That's more than a lot of people get. I thought about that. About dying happy. About whether that was possible. Maybe it was. Fall came again. Another year on the road. I drove south as the weather cooled. Stopped in Colorado and spent a week with Michael. You look good, Dad, he said. Really good. I feel good. Sarah and I are getting married next spring. Will you be there? Of course I will. Wouldn't miss it. And Dad, I want you to be my best man. I felt my throat tighten. Really? Really? You're my father? My best friend? Of course I want you there. I'd be honored, son. I made it back to Florida for the winter. Same campground as the year before. Some of the same people. Dorothy was there, still towing her trailer at 79. Still alive, I see, she said with a grin. Still alive. Good. Let's have coffee and swap stories. We did. She'd been to Alaska since I'd seen her last. Driven all the way up and back. Showed me pictures of glaciers and moose and endless wilderness. It's next on my list, I told her. You should go. Before you get too old. I'm already too old. Nonsense. You're not dead yet. I celebrated my 75th birthday in that campground. Dorothy organized a party. 30 people I barely knew singing happy birthday. Someone made a cake. Someone else gave me a bottle of whiskey. To Bob, Dorothy said, raising her glass. May he keep wandering until he finds whatever he's looking for. I'm not looking for anything, I said. Then may he keep wandering just for the hell of it. Everyone cheered that night. Lying in my RV, I realized something. I was happy. Actually, genuinely happy. For the first time since Margaret died, I wasn't just okay. I was good. I called both my kids and told them. Michael laughed. That's great, Dad. I'm proud of you. Jessica cried. I'm so glad. You deserve to be happy. So do you, I told her. I am. We're good here. Really good. The kids are thriving. Brandon got promoted again. And I've started painting. Remember how I used to paint in high school? I remember. You were good. I'm rusty. But it feels good to do something just for me. That's important. I learned that from you, Dad, watching you this past year and a half. You taught me that it's okay to prioritize yourself, to figure out what makes you happy and chase it. I'm still figuring it out, aren't we all? Spring came. Michael's wedding. I drove back to Colorado, the RV loaded with gifts and a new suit that actually fit. The wedding was small. Outdoor ceremony in the mountains. Sarah looked beautiful. Michael looked terrified and ecstatic. When it came time for the best man speech, I stood up with shaking hands. I'm not good at speeches, I started. Everyone laughed. But I wanted to say, Michael, you've grown into an incredible man. Strong, kind, brave. You live your life on your own terms, chasing what makes you happy. I wish I'd learned that lesson as young as you did. I paused, looking at him, at his eyes so much like Margaret's. Your mother would be so proud of you. I know I am. And Sarah, welcome to the family. Take care of my boy. I will, she promised. Aunt Jessica was there with Brandon and the kids. We all cried during the ceremony, laughed during the reception, danced badly to music too loud for our old ears. This is nice, Jessica said, dancing with me. All of us together, it is. We should do it more often. We should. Maybe Christmas? Could you come to Seattle for Christmas? I thought about it. About changing my route. About making plans. Yeah, I said. I can do that. Her face lit up. Really? Really? But I'm parking the RV in your driveway. I'm not staying in a hotel. Deal. After the wedding, I drove. No particular direction. Just north and east, and wherever the road took me, made it to North Dakota. South Dakota. Saw Mount Rushmore and the Badlands and endless plains that went on forever. In Minnesota, the RV broke down again. Major this time, transmission. The mechanic shook his head. It's going to be expensive. Might not be worth fixing, to be honest. This rig has seen better days. How expensive? He told me. It was more than the RV was worth. I sat in the shop parking lot, looking at my home of the past 2 years. The peeling paint, the dents and scratches from 2 years of living, the sticker on the back window that said, "Not all who wander are lost." Maybe it was time for something new. I sold the RV to a young couple for cheap. They were just starting out. Saved their money to buy their first rig. The wife was pregnant. The husband worked remotely. They wanted to see the country before the baby came. She's a good rig, I told them. Treat her well. We will. Thank you. I took what I needed, clothes, pictures, a few books, and donated the rest. Felt lighter with every item I let go. Then I bought a ticket to Seattle. Jessica picked me up at the airport. Hugged me so hard I thought my ribs would crack. You're here? For good? For now, I said. I thought maybe I'd stay for a bit. Not in the in-law suite, I added quickly. I'll get my own place. A small apartment, but nearby, so I can see the grandkids more. Dad, she was crying. Are you sure? I'm sure. I've seen enough of the country. For now. Maybe I'll travel again someday. But right now, I want to be near family. Okay. We'll help you find a place. She did. A 1-bedroom apartment 3 miles from her house. Small, but not too small. Big windows. A little balcony where I could sit and drink my morning coffee. I decorated it with pictures. Margaret and me on our wedding day. The kids when they were little. Michael at his wedding. Jessica's family at Christmas. My grandchildren's school photos. Home, I realized, wasn't a place after all. It was people. And pictures. and memories that you carried with you wherever you went. I found a coffee shop I liked, became a regular. The barista learned my order. An Americano, black, no sugar, joined a senior center. Took a woodworking class, remembering something Michael had said years ago about those classes. Made a terrible birdhouse that the instructor kindly said showed rustic charm. Volunteered at a library. Read to kids once a week. Funny how much I enjoyed that. Their little faces looking up at me, hanging on every word. Started having dinner with Jessica's family once a week. The kids called me just to chat. Told me about school and friends and the drama of being 9 and 12 years old. I met Lavra for coffee sometimes. We talked about books and travel and our late spouses. She asked if I wanted to go to dinner sometime, like a date. I asked, like dinner? We can call it whatever you want. Okay, dinner sounds nice. We went to dinner, then to a movie, then to a museum. It wasn't romance exactly, but it was companionship. And after being alone for so long, that felt like enough. 1 year passed. Then 2, then 3. I turned 78. Jessica threw me a party. Michael flew in with Sarah. My grandchildren made me cards. Lavra brought wine. You know what I realized? I told them all that night. I spent so much time being afraid. Afraid of being alone. Afraid of being useless. Afraid of being a burden. But the only thing I should have been afraid of was wasting the time I had left. So are you happy now? My grandson asked. For real? For real, I said. I'm happy. And I was not because I'd found some perfect ending. Not because I'd solved all my problems or healed all my wounds, but because I'd learned that you can start over. Even at 73. Even when you think your life is finished. Even when your daughter calls you useless and you believe her, you can sell the house. Buy the RV. Drive away from everything you know. And somewhere out there, on some random road in some random state, you can find yourself again. Not the person you were before the grief. That person's gone, but a new person, different, maybe even better. It took me selling everything, running away, wandering for years to figure that out. But God, I'm glad I did. The house I sold got renovated, flipped, sold again. Someone else lives there now. Someone with their own memories, their own story. And that's okay, because Margaret's not in that house. She never was. She's in the way Jessica hums when she cooks. In the way Michael takes risks and chases adventure. In my memory of her laugh. In the love we built together. You can't sell that. Can't flip it. Can't renovate it. That stays with you forever. And sometimes, on quiet mornings, when I'm sitting on my balcony watching the sunrise, I swear I can feel her next to me, proud, happy, free. We did good, didn't we? I say to the morning air, and I like to think, somewhere, she's saying it back. We did real good, Bob, real good. I'm 81 now, still living in Seattle, still having dinner with Jessica's family, still taking woodworking classes and reading to kids at the library. Lavra and I are still friends. Maybe a little more than friends, but we're taking it slow. At our age, there's no rush. Michael visits twice a year. Brings Sarah and their daughter, my granddaughter, born 2 years ago. She has Margaret's eyes. The grandkids are teenagers now. Too cool to hang out with Grandpa most of the time. But sometimes they still call. Still ask for advice. Still tell me they love me. And Jessica? She's my daughter. My complicated, beautiful, imperfect daughter who once called me useless and made me realize I had to save myself. We're good now. Better than good. She apologizes sometimes. For what she said. For pushing me away. I tell her the same thing every time. You gave me the push I needed. I'm grateful. You're not supposed to be grateful. I was awful to you. You were scared. And you were right. I was becoming useless. But not because I was old. Because I'd stopped living. You forced me to start again. I didn't force you to sell the house and buy an RV and drive across the country like a crazy person. No, I did that all on my own. We laugh about it now. But at the time, it wasn't funny. It was terrifying. It was painful. It was necessary. Sometimes the people who love us hurt us. Not because they want to, but because they're human, because they're flawed, because they're just trying to survive their own fears. The trick is to forgive them. Forgive yourself. And keep going. Just keep going. That's all any of us can do, Doc. Keep going until we can't anymore. And when that day comes, when I'm really done, really at the end, I hope I go out knowing I lived, not just existed, not just survived, but really, truly lived. That's all Margaret would have wanted. That's all any of us should want Dot to live. To love, to forgive, to start over when we need to, and to never, ever let someone else's words, even someone we love, define who we are. I'm not useless. I never was. I was just lost for a while, but I found my way back. And that, in the end, is all that matters.